right, beautiful sunny morning. Let's do a garden tour. Start off over here in my Pacific Northwest Wildflower Garden. It's not really accurate to what it is anymore. It has a bunch of things, including things that are not native to the Pacific Northwest. This giant lupin. Lupin is native to the Pacific Northwest. Lupin's kind of native everywhere. But this variety is not. This variety is actually the big Texas lupin. State flower of Texas, I believe. The bees do love it. I have a resident bumblebee that is constantly coming, pollinating inside of these beautiful blue flowers. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that. A little disappointed that it doesn't bloom all at once. Kind of starts at the bottom and works its way up. So I don't have any spikes that are completely in bloom yet. I don't think that I will. Moving on, inside here we have a bunch of strawberries. Some strawberries, some strawberries. And they're really doing great. Here I have some thyme. It's beginning to flower, to seed this year. And the pansies. These survived all winter. They're really in full bloom. I think they'll survive all summer too. Swiss chard, something that strange has happened. These leaves are completely deteriorated. I don't know if it was sun or what, but these are just unusable. I should cut those off. I grow chard not for the vegetable. I don't really like Swiss chard eating it, but I think it is one of the coolest varieties of greens you can grow in the garden because of the lovely colors. Of course, a rainbow chard is the only one that does that. Other stuff I got growing, I have some parsley? Either parsley or cilantro. That's cilantro. That's cilantro. Bachelor button here. Snapdragon's coming in. I think this is watercress, perhaps swine cress. Might be a weed, but it's growing as if it's self-seeded from what I grew last year. So maybe not. The last flower we have blossoming over here is this western wallflower. Very beautiful orange flowers. All right, more to come in that flower patch, probably in the next month as more stuff blossoms. Have some oregano down here. This also did not die. There's a Iceland poppy, more oregano, red currant, and some poppies. Getting into the self-sown poppy areas. Got a little bit of dill coming up in my rock garden. Planted some seeds here, and this is also just kind of a staging area for my messy garden supply. More poppy. If you remember this area last year, blackberry was not this big. It has grown exponentially in the last 8 months. Also planted a Marionberry, which is a Oregon-specific version of blackberry. It grows very large berries, and it is starting to go off right here. So that's fun. Another big poppy. Hopefully it blossoms soon. And then around the bend, I have this lavender, which is just getting completely crowded out. I'm gonna have to move it this year. After the summer's done, I'll move that lavender to a new location because next year it won't have a chance against that blackberry. Some blue flax, the softest plants in the world. More poppies, lots and lots and lots of poppies. Here I have spinach and cilantro growing in the mulch. Kind of a mulch test going on over here. Got the grass mulch, got the bark mulch. Seeing what plants prefer. I already know the answer, it's bark mulch. Here we got our field mustards. I think these are Asian mustard green. The bees love these yellow flowers. The bees and butterflies love these yellow flowers, so that's what I'm growing it for. It's going to seed right there. Probably cut it down once all the flowers are done and they're all going to seed. Show you what that looks like here at the end of the tour. Firecracker penstemon. Very, very beautiful flower. Kind of a statement flower that's super easy to grow. More bachelor button. This was a blowover from across the street here. bloomed over there and blown over here. Excited that I'm getting a lot of volunteers. And there's just a bunch of stuff down here. We got poppies. We got other kinds of poppies. We have some oregano. We have some dill. It's just really all sorts of different things growing right here. Real variety. More penstemon, more pansies, more oregano. Another Swiss chard. This one's going to seed. I have to get rid of that here, probably after the video. Oh, this is perfect. So these are pansies. These are violets, perhaps violas. I get confused. The reason why I love them are these right here. This is actually a volunteer, so this is what we call Johnny Jump Up. And these pop up all by themselves. You don't have to plant these. Once you plant some violas, just guaranteed these are going to start appearing in your garden. I love them. They're tiny, so cute. Beautiful colors of purple, pale, gold, yellow. Another yarrow. Here's some horehound. We'll probably never be able to get rid of this. Crimson clover. Crimson clover is kind of past its peak, actually. You can see that it's starting to develop seed out of the flowers right there. There's still some really gorgeous red flower spikes like those. Got some purslane down here. And then here is some kale that's gone to flower, just like that other field mustard we saw. Bees love it. This has been flowering for a lot longer though, and it is ready to get cut down. Open up some more garden space. And I'll need it for all these. Got my plants coming here, all my seedlings from the inside. I've been hardening them off for a few days now. I'll do a full video on how to harden off, but everything's looking pretty good. Very excited about this plant this year. This is a ground cherry. Very excited. I got some more seeds coming. Just planted these yesterday, so I know there's no action in there. More strawberries. And here is a new feature of my garden. We just built it a month or two ago. A little trellis. We'll walk through trellis gate. We had peas planted. Start climbing up that trellis. So, the blue flowered growing vine. I've got more over here. And then lots and lots of crimson clover. Should all be terminated here pretty soon. Artichokes, some twinkle phlox back there. Self-seeded from last year's planting, so they're popping up everywhere. That's the only one that seems to be blooming. Oh, here's another one. Here's a better shot of the flowers of phlox. It's incredible, despite how scraggly that looks. A lot of it isn't weed. A lot of those are desired plants, which is, it's cool that we're finally getting to that point. More Swiss chard, sunflowers coming up everywhere. Snapdragons. Don't know the variety on that one. Came from the in-laws, so probably will never know the variety. This will be the squash corner. I'll plant lots of pumpkins here. Take a look at the garden box. This is full of Japanese or Asian mustard greens. Radishes. Let's see if we can pull a radish out. Here's one. Little Lutea Carrot Radish. Yummy. Used to be grown in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's kind of fallen out of favor since then, but this was grown everywhere in the early 1900s. Jerusalem artichoke overtaking the box here. Got some other things planted in here as well. Oregano, which I seem to have way too much oregano. Little bits of lettuce. And a snapdragon. It's kind of a statement piece in that box. Here we got more radishes. We got some beets coming in. In the back, we got some peas and carrot. I need to work on weeding those. Here we have some garlic. Elephant garlic up front, regular garlic in the back, and then just a mixture of herb, bok choy, and tatsoi. This used to be the pile where I grew my onions. The pile is almost back to ground level now, so I have put up boards, make an in-ground flower garden here. Have yarrow. I have this golden chamomile that is just going crazy. And the little tiny lettuces. Got the Landis lettuce down here, and we have the Merlot red lettuce back there. Lavender about to start. Lots of poppies. Those are all red poppies, but will be blooming here pretty soon. Check in on this guy. Oh yeah, they're starting to bloom. Keeping that up for good now. Nothing in there. Open that up. I think that's milkweed. Yarrow. My 3 blueberry bushes. The strawberry growing underneath. That's blanket flower. Here are my giant asparagus. Seriously, 6 feet tall. Approaching 7. Letting it flower because that's how asparagus does get its energy. It goes to flower and you just kind of let it do its thing. These will turn into little tiny red berries that we can then harvest and plant as new asparagus seed, which is kind of like a 5-year process. It's not the greatest thing to do, but I bet I'll do it this year. All right, here's my raspberry, one of many raspberries that I planted last year, and it is going to fruit like crazy this year. I think this is lance leaf coleopsis. Pretty beautiful yellow flower, but kind of invasive. Here's a raspberry that was a bare root raspberry I put in the ground about March. I don't think it's gonna take off. I do have borage coming up though. Self-seeded borage, excited about that. Echinacea, or cone flower. Very hardy specimen. More of that lance leaf coleopsis. More flowering sage. A bit of lavender mixed in. Some sown sweet peas. Honeysuckle. Honeysuckles are important for hummingbirds. They nest in them. They don't only eat the flowers, but they build their nests in that, so plant it. There's some volunteer dogwoods. Volunteer elm tree that I should consider getting rid of before it goes too much. Some kale. All right, let's turn our attention to the beast. You remember I fought this thing hard. And it's looking great. What used to be full of rock and unplantable sand, now kind of turning into an oasis of life, full of crimson clover, full of carrots, full of broccoli sprouts. We're just trying to heal that land underneath. Here are the field mustards that have gone to seed. So all of these have their flowers gone. They're kind of taking up energy, turning their flowers into these seed pods. While I do love a good brassica, I think I'm gonna kill all these before the seeding completes. Feed them to my compost. There's my 3rd artichoke. Okay, so yeah, messy garden, but I got a lot of stuff in the ground. Compost. Let's see how hot it is in there. About 110 degrees. Outside temp is about 7. It's good thermal. Here is my other raspberry patch. Here I have 4 different kinds of raspberry. I'm thinking next year this will just be a complete and total bramble. Unrecoverable bramble. All right, but that's it. It's my garden. Next year, I'm coming for this.